Hi everyone, welcome to Alphawisdom. I'm Mystic Cassandria. We're going to be covering the fingers. We've talked about the fingers before, but today, starting today, we will be talking in great detail about the fingers and why they are so important. And sometimes you can just get a general look at the person from the fingers and can say quite a bit about them. Okay, so let's get started with the information I have for you today. All right, as you see on your screen, it says fingers. Just a little information on them so you will appreciate the importance we're talking about. The fingers talk more about a person and their lifestyle than any other aspect of the hand. Each finger has a specific meaning or core quality and reflects the type of energy that is channeled through it. So that's so far what we can say about the fingers. Okay, now let's see what we're going to be told, what finger we have for today. Jupiter, and that is your index finger. That's like looking at a mirror. That's you. That's who we're talking about. And the areas we will cover, called the characteristics, are, you see here, the length, flexibility, flanges, finger spacing, fingertips, and fingerprints. We've covered these, but more detail, remember. All right, a little bit, just briefly, because you're going to hear more. The Jupiter finger reveals our degree of self-confidence. It represents the ego, ambition, and pride in the self. The straighter the finger, the stronger these characteristics. So if you are looking at your hands as you're looking at this video, you'll notice whether your hand is long or your finger, this finger, the one that's colored, is longer than your ring finger. We make a comparison on the length by measuring those two fingers, the index and the ring finger, to determine whether the index is long, general, that means it's pretty much even in length, or shorter, that would be shorter than the ring finger. Okay, we'll be covering all the fingers, so don't worry about that. Okay, so we have this. Now let's take a look at this one. This would be classified as general because they're about the same length. The line across is showing you that. Now, a little more about, as you look at that, the index finger reveals how you see yourself. That's why I said it's like looking in a mirror. That's you. It rules pride, ambition, self-esteem, personal vision, and the need to exert one's own values and qualities in the world. Control, self-importance, and personal responsibility are also tied to this finger, as well as leadership and the drive to succeed. That's very important, okay? Now, when the finger is longer, as you see on this next one, before I go with the longer one, I want to point out, just in case you have one and you measure across, and this one, the index finger, seems to be just a tiny bit shorter. This is considered normal or general, just like this, just a little bit. And if we're measuring from the human part, because this is like a shadow behind the finger, so it's this. We just measure from this across. It's slightly shorter, but it's not considered to be a short middle finger. I just want to make that clear, okay? Now, we can leave this one, and we go on to the next one. Now, you can see here, this is long, no doubt about that. Here's the ring finger, here's the index finger. And remember what it looks when it's considered normal, okay? If this finger is long, even by only a fraction than the ring finger, there's a strong sense of needing to control situations and other people. They like to be in charge. They can't help it. This is the person that does not sit in the back or stand in the back. They have to be up front. They love to take charge. They don't wait to hear someone ask them, would you take charge? They just immediately take charge because they feel the confidence to do, and people sense that. And they don't question it because they do know what they're talking about. Okay, now on the active hand, this is a classic sign of a bossy person. Remember I said have to be in charge? They are perfectionists who is terrified of failure. Now I know no one wants to fail, but it's even stronger with the longer indexed finger person. This indicates an ambitious personality. So they are ambitious, very ambitious. Okay, let's go on to the passive hand, the opposite hand. This finger, same finger, index, being long means childhood was marked by a precocious over-awareness of self early. Maturity and a too early sense of responsibility. And usually that happens when the parents give the child responsibility at a young age that normally they might not have because they felt they could do that. They sense the energy of a long finger. Okay, let's leave this and go on to the next one. Look at this. That's the ring finger, and that's much shorter, almost at the point where the flange starts to change, almost, okay? When the index finger is substantially shorter than the ring finger, and that is, the person has a diminished sense of self-importance and deep-held feelings of inadequacy. The shorter the index finger, the more the self is poorly reflected and the greater the feeling of being the victim rather than the motivator of their own lives. And this seems to be exactly what this part is talking about. The finger has been linked to poor personal reflection and poor life choices. There is an aversion to and fear of great responsibility. Okay? Now, let's take the passive hand. It is an indicator of childhood where one had little personal reinforcement, little sense of personal power, and an adequate sense of individuality. One benefit of the finger being weak is that one never takes oneself too seriously. A short finger, back to the active hand, is an indicator that a person can be dominated by a stronger personality. Okay, so we have our fingers, and I hope you kind of see or get a glimpse of the importance of knowing the fingers, because you start to know the person before you even meet them, just looking at those fingers. All right, well, thanks for watching. Give a thumbs up if you liked it, and share, and of course subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself, love yourself, that index finger, remember, and love and light. Bye.